Kia ora everyone, today I take a look at yet again another controversially overpriced LEGO Star Wars set, though this set here is kind of expected to be overpriced to begin with. This here is set 75384, the Crimson Firehawk, which is based on the children's animated show Young Jedi Adventures. And usually I would say that naming the set the Crimson Firehawk is an awesome job at the LEGO team. Good job guys, great naming convention here, except I don't really think the masses know what the hell a Crimson Firehawk is, so for the remainder of this review, I'm just going to be calling it the same thing that everyone else is calling it. This is Nubs' set. The set here contains 136 pieces with 2 minifigures in total. There is an additional buildable droid character though, sort of. And with all of that in mind, why in the world does this thing cost 50 USD and 80 NZD? An image from the official LEGO store for proof here for anyone doubting me on this. Disgusting prices as per usual, but not only with LEGO Star Wars, but with LEGO Junior sets as well. The parts included are huge, the stickers are actually all prints, and the minifigures are amazing. The last time that LEGO released a set for the Young Jedi Adventures set was this thing. It's the Tinu Temple, I think is what it was called. I had the exact same positives and negatives for that set too. The stickers are all prints and they look amazing. The build is actually rather intriguing as well, and the minifigures are some of the best that Star Wars has had. The biggest flaw there, that price was $75 NZD. I got it for around 50 maybe or something on a sale, and I thought that that was pretty decent. I also thought that this would be the last time we saw a set price like that. I can't believe that this set here actually beats it. LEGO may think that they've won against me this time with an $80 set, but joke's on them, I paid only $30 for this thing. That really awful Mandalore Battle Pack is more expensive than what I paid for this. So like most of the reviews that you can find here on this channel, I just need to remind myself here that this set is significantly more expensive than the price that I paid, and that's ultimately where the judgment should come in. Not for paying 30, but for paying 80. And the set overview here is a little market with a bunch of accessories and junk and stuff. You also get the Crimson Firehawk ship from the show, which I have to assume is a pretty big deal. I wouldn't know. More importantly, Nubs. So we'll start off with our little market stall here and all that extra junk. It feels really reminiscent to me of the Prince of Persia and Castle lines from years ago. There's also a little speeder here for our minifigures. That speeder is your basic speeder. I feel like they've made junior speeders before, and I don't even have much to say about speeders outside of the juniors line in general. It's fine, it serves its purpose nicely, and Nubs does fit on pretty simply despite those small legs. Speeders I think are the one design that can translate really well into junior sets. It's the kind of thing that I really wish we could see in advent calendars, honestly. And as for those extras here, we have a barbecue pit and a storage chest. Easy build for the barbecue. We have a translucent orange piece and a grill part there as well. There's also a fish that's been clipped onto the barbecue there and is ready to be cooked. As for that chest inclusion, it's one of the newer ones from the Harry Potter line. Off the top of my head, I don't think I have this in my collection, so it is cool to have it, and in this gunmetal grey color as well. Inside is an axe, and I've also included the spare lightsaber handle from the set, because why not? On top of that was a crate or something. I say something because it's actually non-functioning. Our little market stand here is actually pretty decent. I just usually don't like side builds in sets like this. My feelings on stuff like that is that I would much rather have these parts go towards the main draw of the set, which in this case is the Crimson thingy ship. I would rather the market be a bit more fleshed out and made into its own set separately. We've got some space here for a minifigure to stand and sell all sorts of various goods that I don't think have been established yet as existing in Star Wars, if I'm honest. You've got like a fish and a pot plant, some cheese maybe, and some apples. But really, who knows what's canon now with Disney's world. And as for the ship itself, it's actually pretty cool, all things considered. It is a junior set. They always look decent enough from afar until you take a much closer look. I would love to see someone actually build the junior set using traditional pieces and making the sets genuine display models, because I think that the design here looks pretty cool in a simplistic sense. Immediately what stands out are those crazy prints, and they are amazing. I just feel like I haven't seen quality like this on LEGO bricks in such a long time. It's nuts. The cockpit there does suffer the same usual issue with LEGO printing. The white there is a darker tone since it's being printed on a clear blue piece like this, and that white is supposed to match the color of those bricks there. This is where stickers can actually be a better solution sometimes. We can also remove the entire chunk here nice and easily, and I thought that this would be a good opportunity to show off these special prints here, because besides Nubs, this here is the real selling point for me. I love these things, and I'm really tempted to try and make something myself using these pieces. I love the white and red color scheme here like this, those bright colors that just fit in so well with the world of Star Wars. It really reminds me of the T6 Jedi shuttle. The ship silhouette here is pretty cool as well, but this is where the price does come in, because if we take a look at the underside here, you can see that the ship is built out of these two gigantic pieces. The Stingray looking design here makes it very simple for new builders to make sets without help, which I totally understand completely, but that price is still concerning, I think, for parents to have to consider buying for their young ones. The ship has quite a lot of room on the inside here because there's basically no interior design. There is a seat and a little brick with some controls here for our pilot, and that's about all we have to offer here. We can seat Nash, our pilot here, who has MIDI scaled legs compared to Nubs, so that she can actually sit down in her chair. The box also displays that this is a pretty good spot for our little droid companion, and yeah, honestly, that does look really good. We do have a backdoor access here as well. It's funny to see this very simplistic design because this would not fly in a regular style playset. A pretty small entryway, but there is enough room on the inside here to fit something like a speeder. Our speeder goes all the way to the back there, which again, I feel like that kind of design wouldn't be incorporated into a playset build. You can see inside here that that speeder is pretty much right up against the pilot seat there. And now it's time to take a look at our minifigures, the best part of LEGO Star Wars sets of course always, and man oh man, for someone who is in his 20s and has never watched an episode of this kids show, I am mighty glad for Nubs to be here in person. Nubs was the biggest thing that was missing from the previous set. The blue teddy bear guy's absence was very obvious from the start. The design for Nubs here is pretty immaculate for his head print there, and a double-sided cape as well with orange and brown color scheming. Again, for a junior set, this is rather incredible detail. Like, this is not something that LEGO would usually do in their regular playsets, so it's a great surprise to see something with this level of detail targeted for a younger demographic. If I remove that lightsaber and cape, we can see the fancy prints on the front and back torso there. There is no leg printing, which is fine. The source material shows that it's just his robes missing there anyway, which they can't really do on little legs either. Nubs is an excellent inclusion, and I am so happy to have him as a figure. And then we move on to Nash Durango, who I always want to call Dash, a character that I didn't know existed here. It looks to be a human smuggler type character, looks like she's a pilot friend to our Young Jedi characters, looks to even include apparently an exclusive hairpiece, and it actually looks pretty accurate even to that source material. Again, I'm just so surprised to see the level of detail put into these juniors minifigures, but I like it. After all, it's why I bought the set in the first place. She has a dock arc clip on her back, but removing that shows that she does have some details of her jacket there. We also have a double-sided expression of a much more worried look. Overall, a decent figure, but the character isn't as interesting to me as Nubs. And this here is the droid inclusion. This is RJ83, who is another character I did not know existed, so surprise surprise. I understand that this is a junior set and there are some limitations even with general LEGO Star Wars outside of this theming. However, this is a bad translation that simply does not work. Now, in fairness to LEGO, that design is a tough one to get down anyway. Very small legs that likely would have required a brand new special mold. I was not able to find any good looking customs online, so this is ultimately the best that we have. It feels like it would have been acceptable maybe 20 years ago before the whole special molding process, but simply printing that body on a clear brick does not do it for me in 2024. I love the use of the BB-8 head though. I do think that that works wonders. The clip on the back of Nash means that you can attach the droid friend, but this also just looks a little off. Taking a look at some source material, it looks like a BD1 to Cal Kestis connector is what was ultimately needed here, but she also appears to wear him like a backpack, similar to how Iden Versio goes around with her droid companion. So simply removing the headpiece and now it looks like this, and this looks great. It's definitely how I plan on displaying the figure. And before we wrap up on the figures, I thought it'd be really interesting to see the current value of them individually, and the prices for these figures is currently more than the price I paid for the set, and compared to the full retail price of the set itself is only $30 more, so I'm realizing in real time here that maybe LEGO were actually onto something with that price. The box art for the set here looks pretty cool. It's a nice display of a rather cool looking world that reminds me of a Jak and Daxter era platformer. Our neat figures here are on display in the corner. Back of the box here details very clearly how easy this is to assemble, and we can also clearly see everything that's been included here. It's cool to see that even the accessories are all detailed like this for parents to understand just what's inside here. Again, the image does show off the simplicity of the build for the younger builders, and then we have the two main features of the cockpit and the speeder. The instructions for the set come in 3 different booklets. Each booklet is based on a specific part of the build so that more than one person could have fun building this at the same time. Our first booklet here shows off how incredibly simple the instructions are, but again, it is designed for a younger crowd of course, so can't really complain here. There are no advertisements in these booklets though, they just show off the builds until finally we reach the Firehawk manual, which does have advertisements here at the back. Here we have the set that we just bought, and a battle pack with the droids and troopers. Very easy. So overall, it's really tough to separate the build away from that price point. I think that the set, just like the last one based around the Jedi Temple, is really cool once you kind of accept that it's a junior set after after all. The younger builders are going to get a pretty cool ship design here with some nice extras for background play, but the real appeal here are those minifigures. Nubs is fantastic and he really helps make the collection feel complete. I just don't think anyone wants to pay $80 for this thing. If you strip away the existence of the fact that it's a Jnrs set and it's supposed to be easier for kids to mess around with, and you look at this at face value, $80 here is crazy. But LEGO can have it however way they want because kids aged 4 are limited when it comes to LEGO products. A child isn't going to be able to build a traditional $80 NZD set like I can, but I just think that this set is a bit too much to ask for when I got amazing Incredibles and Toy Story 4 sets with an equal number of parts and specially molded figures and really nice designs. And all of those sets were half the price of this one. That was default pricing as well, not even me waiting for a sale. On the other hand, I really do think that this might be it for the Young Jedi Adventures line, so here are the 2 sets released for this entire series. I really hope that everything in Star Wars does get some sort of love from LEGO because this here is a golden idea to me. These 2 sets are all we really needed to represent the entirety of the Young Jedi Adventures. The figures all look really great together and the builds are neat for what they are, you just have to really find them on a deeper sale price. Just to keep harping on that price real quick, what you're looking at here is currently $155 NZD worth of LEGO on screen. Is that not crazy? It really makes the Desert Skiff set look immaculate in comparison to me. If they split the set down the middle and release the Crimson Firehawk as its own and they release the Market Stand as its own, then that feels more appealing to me and that kind of matches what the Toy Story and Incredible sets were looking like as well. But anyway, if you enjoyed this look at a LEGO Star Wars 2024 set, then liking this video and subscribing to the channel does help to support more videos like this one in the future. Thank you for watching everybody, ka kite anō, I hope to see you all next time.